Hello, welcome back to LIVENODING. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you the breakdown on how I created this wiggly thing. It's actually pretty simple to create. If I stop that, this is actually just the default cube, and I subdivide it once. If I didn't subdivide, it's just gonna be default cube, and we have the bunch of wiggly things on top of it. Let me change the material. Okay, now let me reduce the density. So I instance a bunch of these wiggly objects on top of the default cube, and this wiggly thing have randomizations on rotation, scale, and I also scale the points. So it's pretty interesting. It's actually really simple, and the wiggly thing is currently hidden. It's only this single object. I'm gonna show you how I created that wiggly, this instance, but let's take a look at this first. Without the point randomizations on the scale, if I mute this, we have a single object, so this is less random. And without the rotations, if I mute this, you can see this is more kind of like the same motions, but somehow with the rotations added, and if we just play around with the radius, we can make it kind of small. And if I increase the density, it's gonna look totally different. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It might look pretty bizarre, but still kind of fun to understand how I created this. So this is just a single instance of these creatures. So the creature itself is created this way. Let's take a look. Let's focus on this. Okay. It's wiggly thing. Let me, something wrong with my computer. It's kind of slow recently. I think, I don't know what's going on, but let's see. Okay, this is an icosphere. I randomize, I distribute some points on the icosphere, and there's this wiggly thing coming in as a curve. I actually started everything using grease pencil. Okay, so there's this grease pencil object that I draw on top of icosphere. I converted this into a curve using Sverchok. So there's this Sverchok, and I simply generate a curve, and I use noise displays just to randomize the curve. So I can actually have multiple different versions of this wiggly thing very easily using this seed. And let's see. So I can control the resampling of this grease pencil. So because from grease pencil into geometry nodes, currently I'm using Sverchok. Maybe in the near future, from grease pencil into curve, we can just do it using geometry nodes. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the noise that's disturbing the grease pencil lines. I can recreate the whole thing in just a few minutes if I want to explain to you. So inside geometry nodes, it's just like point being distributed on the icosphere, and then we have curve coming in, and I increase the resampling of the curve, so we have like beautiful smooth line, and then I randomize it a little bit, join the geometry, turn the points into volume, and then volume back into mesh, and I shade smooth the volume, so we have this wiggly thing. So yeah, I like So we could do this differently. Like, I mean, like this kind of thing can become like a single curve. We can actually just turn everything, just collapse all the vector into just a single line, so we can just scatter the lines. But I quite like this. It's so much simpler, and we end up with these creations. So from just a single instance of these creatures, we have these huge creatures that we can actually scatter on anything. Let me try if I use this donut and copy this. It might crash. No, actually seems to be working. So yeah, so that's how you created this wiggly thing and just scatter it on an object. Alright, so hopefully you find this interesting. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.